it's the way.
We're wanted men.
I have spoken.
Welcome to the Smugglers Galaxy podcast. Jason had a family emergency this weekend, so I didn't record. So he's out of town, but he came on because he is there. I guess everybody is done with the stuff. So now they're all drinking, and he was on here and he was drunk, and it was glorious. And we had totally forgot to record it. I feel like a dumbass, but anyway, let's see if he sees it. Anyway, we were talking about our days and our weeks, and you had got what? Anyway, hold on. Let me. Holy Ted from the Smugglers. Ted Smugglers. All right. So anyway, hey,
take seven.
Take seven. We have got, this is Glenn, and I've got Ted Beaver from the Force of Course podcast with me. I'm glad I discovered that I wasn't recording 10 minutes in instead of an hour in, because that would have sucked. But Ted, you were telling me about your week.
Yes. So I was able to pick up some of the Black Series figures that I've been missing. Well, I pre-ordered and they finally came in, but I got the Leia Yavin ceremony. I got Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan, which is kind of nice. Nice to see that the pre-orders are starting to file in a little bit. That's really about it. What about you? What'd you get?
I got a Taiwan brown belt Taiwan Fett, which cost me an arm and a leg, which really, with the blaster, it went from, the guy quoted me a price and then he's like, you want the blaster? And I'm like, I want to send it to AFA. So I need the blaster. And about an hour later, he texted me saying, I found the blaster, and it just tripled the price. And he told me the price and I laughed at him, and he's like, dude, you know how much this thing costs? And I said, dude, I didn't realize that it was that blaster and it was that much. And
but go ahead and give it to me.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll take it. Anywho, and then I got a piece for my micro collection, which is the backpack for about not the backpack, but a reproduction custom backpack for the Chewbacca and the C-3PO that you could piece together from the unproduced. Cool. Yeah. So, and then you were asking me about my micro collection stuff. So
what else you need?
Yeah, I need the unproduced stuff, which is going to be crazy to get, but you're paying $200 or something that's that big. Which it's like, gosh. Where the hell else are you going to go? Because I'm going for the unproduced stuff and the sealed boxes, which for the little things, you can get a sealed box for, a couple of $100, but for the big stuff, if you can find them, they're $400 or $500.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What's your Great White Buffalo as far as that series goes?
I don't know. I don't really have one in the micro collection. It's just sort of going through the motions on it.
Gotcha. Well, that's a good way to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you can just kind of take your time with it.
Yeah. My Great White Buffalo is the Galactic Heroes Phantom that, I don't know if it's been produced. I don't know how many if it was ever produced or anything. There's only video I've ever seen of it has been at Toy Fair. So at least
one is out there.
There's at least one. And there's been some ads and stuff with, like at Walmart, you punch it into Walmart and they have an ad with it, but it's never for sale. So I don't know why they have that.
It's frustrating.
Yes, totally is. So we were talking about Celebration before I realized that I didn't hit record.
Yeah. That's really exciting. You guys have a table?
Yeah.
Table?
Yeah. It's one of those that I'm really excited, but it's going to add, not frustration. Frustration's the wrong word. It'll just be more stuff we have to do. So we are never going to sleep.
And you have to watch 2 episodes of Kenobi in there somewhere too.
Dude, I don't know how the hell we're gonna get that in. I am
Wow.
I don't know. I have a feeling why they did that, and we can get into it in a minute. But
Okay.
why the hell did they do that to everybody? You know, everybody was prepared. They're like, all right, cool. Jason was ready to download it onto his phone, and he was gonna watch it on the plane, and he was gonna be, no, we got to figure it out and watch it at midnight Friday morning.
Yeah. 2 episodes now.
2 episodes.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but you were saying you've never been to a celebration.
I don't, so large groups, I don't do well. And I'm not trying to make a joke out of the global pandemic, but COVID was kind of good to me. Even though I had it twice and I'm like a 2-time champion. My entire life, I've been anti-social distancing. So when the pandemic hit and they came out with social distancing, I was a pro already. I was good at it. Mm-hmm. And I can go to cons here in Cincinnati because they're crowded, but it's like local crowded. I can't imagine Anaheim crowded. I can't, my brain will not cope with that. It would be bad.
Celebration is just a different level. I went in 17 is the only one I went to, and it took 2 hours to get into the con the first day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they didn't have, it got better, Friday, Saturday, Sunday got better, but it was still, there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I like being around that many people. Yeah. Especially because you just get a vibe off of it and you get a charge, and it's really awesome when you have that many people and you're there for one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You're all like-minded individuals. So I guess it is kind of a good vibe.
Yeah.
Still not for me.
Yeah. What's the last con you've been to?
Cincinnati Comic Expo I believe it was September was the last one I went to. I missed the Columbus Toy Show. Had to work. So I think was it October is the Cincinnati show. I'll make sure I get to that one.
You better, man, because I'm going up there for that.
That's right. Yeah. So we'll have to hang out.
Yeah, we're because the Xenia show Saturday and the Cincinnati show Sunday is what they still have them lined up like that. So I can't miss those 2 shows. I've heard Xenia blows Cincinnati out the water.
Really?
Yeah. But
I've never been to Xenia. I hit Columbus pretty often, but not Xenia.
Mm-hmm. I think there's like they say there's like 6 or 7 buildings for Xenia.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like you can't miss that. I mean, my wife and I actually talked because they normally do them opposite weekends. So it's like you can go to Xenia, spend the week, and then go hit Cincinnati.
Yeah.
We talked about doing that, but with them being the same weekend, it's like we'll just go up Wednesday or Thursday and either come back right after the Cincinnati, leave at noon or 1 o'clock from the Cincinnati show and drive home, or spend Monday.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah. I did it with Narayan. It's not too bad, but it sucks. Anytime you try to drive home, shotgun at home the day before you have to go back to work sucks.
That's true. Make sure everyone's clear. I'm not going to be working too hard today.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, I don't have an office. I'm not in the office. I work on coffee machines. So if I need to nap, I can sneak away and take a nap.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know if we got this recorded. What are you drinking?
Local brewery, Jackie O's. They have a 10% Russian Imperial Stout called Dark Apparition, and it is lovely.
Yes, I love it.
How about you?
I am drinking Reformation Cadence. It's a local brewery out of Woodstock.
Okay.
I haven't had one for a minute. I've gotten, because when we were down in New Orleans, we just stocked up on a bunch of local local beers. So I finally worked my way through all that, and I'm back to my old standbys.
Nice. It's always good to get back to like a always in the fridge beer.
Yes.
One of your go-tos.
Mm-hmm. Because I normally have Shiner, and I hadn't had Shiner Bock in the fridge, and I hadn't had one in a minute, and I finally got a 12-pack and put it in the fridge, and you open one up and you're just like, that's nice. You know?
I feel like I'm home.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's nothing weird about it. And it's just nice, crisp beer. And yeah.
Awesome.
And what's crazy is well, I found that beer when I went to Cherokee Cattle Company, like right after I turned 21. And I'm like, I want a nice clean beer. And she goes, here's this. So she hands me a Shiner. And then I'm like, where do you get them? She goes, you can't find them here. And I'm like, why the f- did you do that to me? So about 10 years later, they started bringing them into Georgia. So they've been in my fridge ever since.
Yeah, we've got Shiner up here.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Y'all can get some good beers up there. And it's weird.
You know, they talk about Cincinnati in the toy industry. We're also like one of the top in the nation as far as beers.
Mm-hmm.
The water table here in Cincinnati is just great for brewing. So the local beer scene is amazing.
Yeah.
When you come up and you have some time, let's make some bad decisions.
Yes, let's do it. Because that's we found a couple of good ones on the Kentucky side, but I don't know if we've been on the Cincinnati side that much. Because when we go, my wife and I, we like staying in Kentucky.
So last time you were here, you were right by Braxton, I think, weren't you?
I think so. But we were right across the street from like Fun City or Fun Party, that big party planning place. That
Party Town. No, come on. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's one of the largest alcohol retailers in the nation.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I walked in there and and you're like, oh, you're used to a beer cooler that it's a few things. You don't walk into it. You walk in there and you're just like, oh my God, it's aisles of a beer cooler.
Aisles, yeah, different aisles for different styles. It's just
that was like an amazing place. Yeah.
Beer mecca.
Yeah. There's one brewer we found. I don't never know what it's called, but it had like a mural going down their stairs and a bunch of Star Wars people on it. That's right. It wasn't too far from that hotel, from that.
Is that on the Cincinnati side? That sounds like street side beer brewery.
Maybe.
They have a Star Wars mural. A couple of them, actually.
Okay. I don't know. We just my wife kind of Googles and says, let's go here.
Sounds like that's a good way to do it, honestly.
It is. And I do have to tell you something about my wife. You are the Ben Kenobi guy.
Why is that?
We went up to Cincinnati last April, and it was your story about your Ben Kenobi that you got beat up on the bus.
Yes. Oh, what a flattering story that is. Stuart. I will never forget the kid's name, Stuart. He ripped my Obi Wan Kenobi cape. He tried to lie on it.
Yeah.
And when I confronted him, he beat my ass. And then my mom came and picked me up, and she beat my ass because I wasn't allowed to take my figures to school.
Right. Oh, I remember that when you were like, you can't take your stuff to school, and you take it to school when it get broken, and you couldn't tell your parents that it got broken because you're not supposed to have the stuff at school.
What a story. So I'm the Ben Kenobi guy. I've been called much worse, so I'm okay with it.
Oh, I'm trying to think of any news, man. The only news we really have is the Giancarlo Esposito saying that the Mandalorian, we're going to get it sooner than later.
What is up with that?
I don't know.
When would that possibly be? Because you've got Obi Wan, which is going to take you through June, right? And then July 26th, they're starting Bad Batch.
Right.
Unless they do what you said earlier and do like a split season. I hope they don't do a split season.
The split season thing pisses me off because everybody's doing it.
Right.
And you get really into the show and then it disappears for 2 months and you're like, then you have nothing to watch.
Right. And then when it comes back, I'm like, oh, crap, I forgot where we left off. And I don't know. I feel like I lose interest. Yeah. I doubt I will with the Star Wars show. I can't imagine that happens. But like they did it with Ozark, they're going to do it with Stranger Things. And I can just foresee that I'm going to lose interest in between part 1 and part 2.
Well, yeah, they did. Yeah, because Ozark's coming back the end of this month, and you've got to have a recap. You've got to figure out what's going on. I mean, Walking Dead, they're doing 3 parts of their final season.
Are you still watching?
I want to watch to see what happens.
Yeah,
at this point, I'm like,
I stopped after Rick left, shortly after Rick left, and I keep thinking maybe I'll jump back in because I also want to see how they wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, plus it was all shot here, so it kind of has that Atlanta
Oh.
flair to it.
That's cool.
Yeah, we actually went down because when the governor had his little town, there's a town called Sonoya where they shoot everything, and they, you're able to go through the train tracks, and they have the town set up. It still says Woodbury. Oh, it was Woodbury. Yeah, it was Woodbury. So they have the town set up to where looks like you're on Walking Down.
Yeah.
Oh, you're like, Jason, call in.
Trying to get him. So that's kind of cool that that's like entertainment history or what have you. That's kind of cool that you can go see that regularly.
Well, the Ozarks was shot. Blue Cat Lounge is a mile from my house.
That's right. You said that last time I was on.
Yeah.
Surprising.
It was one of those things where we were like, what's going on? What are they doing up here? And next thing you know, they're shooting a movie there or shooting the show.
That's pretty cool. We get that here every once in a while. They'll be like, George Clooney's in town shooting a movie, and you just see the whole street blocked off, and you can see him walk from like the building to a car. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, it's like that all in Atlanta. You drive down the street and you see the little signs with the black writing on it. And
yeah.
You see the trailers. And I was up in an account one time, and they had all the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. trucks that you can look down on in the parking lot right next door. So,
that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, he says he can't.
What a
Damn.
jerk.
We missing drunk Jason.
Oh, it was so good.
Oh, it was beautiful.
He'll have to tell his joke next time.
Yeah.
That was funny.
But I think I was too busy laughing at drunk Jason to make sure I hit record. And my computer was giving me issues. I don't know what's up with my internet. I got to figure this shit out because I've been dealing with it for a couple of years. And you go and you look it up, and you have the fastest internet, but I don't know if I have the fastest stuff. If I need to upgrade my modem or whatever, or if I'm in a weird corner of my house.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. What's he? I've never been this tipsy before.
Maybe we just engage Jason on here and just read his messages. That would be
I'm
hilarious.
using tipsy lightly.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised he's able to type right. But getting back to Kenobi.
Yes. Oh, I have another piece of news that may interest you.
Yes, tell me.
And I'll break this on my show as well, but this involves Ahsoka, the Ahsoka series. Bryce Dallas Howard has been quoted as saying, without giving anything away, you're going to love the Ahsoka show that's coming up. I cannot tell you anything, but what I can say is that you being a fan of the Clone Wars will be greatly rewarded. I have questions.
I do too. That statement really worries me because it feels like it's almost word for word as what's his face talking about the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Or Book of Boba Fett.
It's bothersome. I assumed that the Ahsoka show would deal with Thrawn and Ezra, right?
Right.
But that wasn't Clone Wars. That was Rebels, clearly. So if we're going to be rewarded for being Clone Wars fans, I mean, it can't just be like a Captain Rex cameo. That's not really, that's nothing huge. It'd be nice to see, but it's not huge. Do you think we're going to get like flashback situations with Ahsoka and Maul and Crimson Dawn? I don't want against it, but I want the Thrawn and
truthfully, I think they can wrap up the whole Rebels thing in like 2 episodes, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe 3. And I'd be happy with that if they did that. He says he fears the morning.
Oh no.
But anyway, yes, all right, here's my theory with the Ahsoka show is I think the World Between Worlds is going to come into really big play with that show.
Boy, that's a lot to dig into.
Yeah, it is. But maybe they will do flashbacks with Darth Maul and stuff.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
It would be cool to see. I mean, are they going to bring Ray Park back to play Darth Maul? Or are they going to, who's going to play Darth Maul?
They have to, and he's willing.
Yeah. Well, of course, because
what else is he doing? No,
right, exactly.
That's not nice. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Dude, I think they can do pretty much anything they want to with the Ahsoka show, especially if they're going to bring in time travel. But I would be happy 2 or 3 episodes. Give me my Rebels wrap up. Give me Rebels season 5, 2 or 3 episodes. Figure out because they can't just leave Thrawn hanging. They can't do that to us when she mentions him in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, they have to close that. They have to hang that phone up.
Yeah,
clearly. And they cast that the guy from the live action Aladdin, that what was his name, Mina Masood, and everyone assumes he's going to be Ezra Bridger.
right.
Just to me that makes sense. They have to do that.
Yeah, and they've already got Thrawn cast, and
so
I'm trying to keep my feelings of this show close to the vest because I don't want to be disappointed in it.
Right.
I don't want it to be another Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Because as fun as it wasn't what we wanted.
Right. Are you worried at all that Obi Wan Kenobi could have that same effect?
I don't have any expectations for Obi Wan Kenobi.
Okay, that's fair. Then I mean, going into it completely open-minded, you should be fine.
Yeah, I'm excited that they threw the Inquisitors in there, which to
I
me,
didn't expect that.
I didn't know we're a Grand Inquisitor. What which would lead me to believe that they may have some Rebels ties, but I don't know.
Yeah, but we also only have 6 episodes, so what are you gonna do?
Right, and 2 of them are on Friday with everybody at Celebration. I don't know. I have no. The only thing is I'm expecting a Obi-Wan and Darth Vader showdown, and then we got to figure out what's going on with the Inquisitors.
Yeah. Hopefully they keep it. If they can just hold on to that much of the story, 6 episodes is plenty.
Right.
If they try to throw a bunch of other stuff in there, it's going to get really, I don't know. It's going to get really weird, probably.
But they also have the other world that, as the Inquisitors looking for somebody, and then they go to Tatooine, which that could, very easily Obi-Wan could stay on Tatooine and they can have people go to him.
True.
Yeah, I want to.
I'm ready to get off Tatooine for a little bit. I'm okay with that.
Do you think we're going to see a young Leia?
I do. Yeah, I do. There were rumors that they were looking for someone to play young Leia, even if it's if there's a scene where he's conversing with Bail Organa somewhere and she's just running around in the background.
Yeah.
Something. I don't think we're going to get a ton of young Luke, so I would be surprised if we got a ton of young Leia.
Right. As long as
there was also rumors that he was going to be on a mission to rescue young Leia from someone. I don't know how true that is. That was a very early rumor.
Interesting. I'm curious. I as long as I think we at least need to get one Luke, we need at least one of those.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
That would be awesome.
What are you feeling from Obi-Wan?
I'm same way. I'm trying to manage my expectations because I get excited and I have all these thoughts, Glenn, I have thoughts. And then I get long ass bantha rides and
you get a half an hour of a bantha ride.
Right. Like, come on, man. How many years went by with you just riding around on a bantha?
Like a bantha.
Like a bantha. I'm trying to keep it real. My expectations low, but the closer we get, the more excited I get. So
right. I'm bummed that they moved it, to Friday because I have no clue when I'm going to have time to watch that. I don't know if they're going to do like what people are going to have watch parties at Celebration, or if they're going to, because now they're doing, I think they said Friday morning they were doing either Thursday or Friday morning. They're doing Disney Plus, and then they're doing a Mandalorian panel, and then doing a Bad Batch. And then they haven't announced one more. There's room for one more panel, but I have a feeling during that Disney Plus panel is when they're going to just Ben Kenobi, here you go. Here's the first episode, but
it'd be nice if they had like a watch party there. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think obviously they can't seat everyone.
Right. I don't know how they would do it unless they and it would really piss me off if I'm walking down the, in the room and they're airing it, because there's like big monitors and stuff. So they're at least showing, there's a stage that has big monitors so people could sit there, like a third overflow room, basically. and
Yeah.
you could watch the panels and stuff. Which,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, I was walking through the room and I'm watching the 40th panel, just sort of as I'm doing stuff, and all of a sudden John Williams comes up, and I'm like, "You son of a bitch,
Wow. Wow.
John Williams!"
That's nice. You have to see it before you go though, because somebody's going to spoil it.
Yeah, I know it will. That's gonna suck. I don't know when I'm gonna have to find time for it, but maybe we'll just stay up.
Yeah, it's worth it. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, I think it will. But anyway, here's what my theory is as to why they moved it.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Stranger Things premieres that same day.
Oh, that's right.
I think they did it to go
Oh
up
my
against Netflix.
God, that's a dick move, but it's a really good dick move.
Right.
Oh, that's strong. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think about that. And I just watched the Stranger Things trailer like a couple of days ago, and I thought, oh, that's the same day as Kenobi. And it didn't even cross my mind why.
Right. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
Disney put Netflix in their sights and said, "We're going after you with
Yeah.
Kenobi." And at
I mean,
least we
which is-
could, huh?
That's crazy though, because there's plenty of time in the day to watch them both.
Right.
And that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But I will be watching Kenobi first.
Yes. That's another movie. That's another thing that was shot here. Did I tell you I got kicked out of the mall?
No.
So I was eating lunch because the mall that they used in Stranger Things was the mall I grew up with. Was my mall.
Oh, that's really cool.
And I was right near it with the guy that I used to work with, and he's like 65. And I'm like, "Dude, do you want to go check out this Stranger Things?" And we went in there, and it's all blocked off, but you can, if you look and you're kind of, not too obvious, you could see it all.
Okay.
And I went there months before with my wife, and they actually had the Star Court on the doors and stuff. So when you walked in, it said Star Court. I've got a picture. I've got a picture of me and my wife standing with Star Court, on the door.
That's cool.
And this lady came up to us and goes, "Y'all can't be in here. We've arrested people for being in here. Y'all didn't take any pictures, did you?" We're like, "No, we didn't take any pictures." "Well, we've arrested people for being up in here." And he still gives me shit about it. "You almost got me arrested for going in that movie set." I'm like,
Oh damn. Nobody's
it's a
getting
public-
arrested.
yeah, it's a public place. They're not going to arrest anybody.
Right.
But
That's
when
funny.
when my wife and I went, it was still all lit up. They had all the lights and stuff up in the food court. It was great. But nobody arrested. Nobody told me shit for being in there. But the mall's dead.
Kicked out of the mall.
Kicked out of the mall.
That's awesome. I got kicked out of a quote unquote gentleman's club for throwing change on the stage. That's a very different story. Talk about Stranger Things.
I would have done. I probably would have kicked you out too, man.
Yeah. That was not nice.
No. I've heard stories of people like stacking quarters on the stage because the strippers used to pick up the dollar bills in a strange way, and then people stacked quarters, and the strippers didn't like that much.
Nope.
I haven't been to one in years, man. No, actually, the last one I went to was in Nashville. I feel too drunk to call. Do
That's
do it.
Perfect. Yes, that's the perfect time to call.
We're trying to get Jason back on so he could tell his joke that we missed. But yeah, we went to one in Tennessee, and it was not fun. The ones here in Atlanta are pretty good, but
I think that, the older you get, it just becomes more uncomfortable than anything else. It's just like, oh God, where are the exits?
Oh, I went on one on a lunch break one day, and it was like, oh, you felt so weird.
Oh, we are so off course.
We really are.
I went to one once that had a lunch buffet. What?
Yeah.
What?
And it did, yeah. And it came with a free lap dance. And you were like, all right.
Okay, I know. Just let me eat my nachos first.
Oh, what were we supposed to talk about today?
That's
I don't.
that's not right. Yeah, that's not right.
What else did we talk about in our chat, Ted?
We were talking about I forget how you worded it. You worded it really quite eloquently, and I'm going to butcher it, but it was something about the streaming series and how they're impacting our lives.
Oh, yes. All right. So I have a story behind it.
Okay.
Because obviously I can't hide my Star Wars fandom because my arm, I've got them all, I've got Star Wars tattoos all over.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. And I got Bill and Ted one is my brand new one.
Oh, that's cool too.
Nobody gets it. Somebody's like, is that the tortoise or
the TARDIS?
TARDIS? I'm like, fuck
Who.
you.
It's not a TARDIS.
Anyway, so I went to pick up some cigars because Jason was coming over last weekend, and he's like, "Do you have any cigars? And you want to come? We buy. I'll come over and smoke a cigar." So I went to the cigar shop to pick up a cigar, and I had a 5 or 10 minute conversation with guys in the cigar shop about Book of Boba Fett.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was just so surreal because I would have never thought having a conversation with guys in the cigar shop about Star Wars ever.
Yeah.
How
it wasn't like confrontation or anything, was it? It was
no
a good talk.
We had a normal conversation, and it was they knew Book of Boba Fett. They were just as disappointed as we were in it. And I was like, wow, this is really weird.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's just, oh, hold on, Jason's coming. Anyway.
That's great.
Yeah, so I didn't know if that had happened to you or not. If you've noticed that.
We'll have to get back to that.
Yeah. Is he? Let's see, where is he? Jason, are you with us?
I'm here.
Hello.
Hi, Jason.
Hello. How's it going?
It's good. Have you sobered up any?
No.
Good.
Awesome.
I've never been so scared in my life. Like I said on our text, I fear the morning.
Right.
Oh, I hope it waits that long.
Drink lots of water.
Yeah, water.
I'm drinking that right now.
Water and Tylenol before you go to sleep.
Yes.
I've had Tylenol.
Okay. Oh my goodness. That wasn't lag in the call either. That was Jason.
Oh wow.
No, it wasn't. That was a lag in the call. That wasn't me.
Uh-huh. That was the longest pronunciation of Tylenol I've ever heard.
Oh my goodness.
How are you,
Oh
sir?
God. I'm not well.
Okay.
Drink responsibly.
Yes, sir.
Glenn.
Yes, sir.
Man, I am such a straight edge. Glenn is having a field day right now.
It's beautiful, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. He's like the innocent can be corrupted. There is proof of this.
That's right. Come to the dark side.
We have liquor, dude.
Oh, God, I am there right now. This is an example of why you shouldn't be drinking alcohol, kids.
I don't know that I agree with that.
The true question, Jason, is everybody as drunk as you?
No.
Okay.
All right.
No, my wife is sober. She's taking care of me.
Oh,
That's nice. That's nice.
That's a good wife should. My wife will encourage me to drink.
No, my wife is she told me like earlier today, like at 8:30, I was being loud and obnoxious, and she's like, dude, you need to chill a little bit. And then you two were like, no, dude, you need to be drunk for the podcast.
Yeah, we did say that.
Yep. And so I had a double.
Oh.
I wanted to perform for you guys because I'm a dancing monkey.
I love it. So, Jason, you had a story for us. I think you said you had made a decision.
So we are going through a tragedy right now with the family. We had a passing in the fammy. And it's made me think a little bit about my own future. and I've decided that I want my remains scattered in Galaxy's Edge.
That's fair. I don't know that it's legal, but it's fair.
Let's do it.
My family's not prepared to do that, so will you gentlemen do that for me?
Yes.
Yeah, I would do that.
Because I never said that I wanted to be cremated. But I'm dumb.
You said that it's a pretty common thing for people to scatter ashes in Disney, and they're banned for life. I did not know that.
Something that happens pretty frequently at the Haunted Mansion. There's tons of cameras that record people. They'll bring it in. They'll bring remains in like Ziploc bags, and they'll try to like scatter remains in the Haunted Mansion, and it results in people being banned for life.
Huh. I mean, that's kind of I get someone wanting to have the remains scattered at Disney. I do understand that, but just on the carpet of Haunted Mansion, they have to understand that they're just going to be vacuumed up.
Right.
Yeah, but I guess from their point of view, they're like they've already stepped off the ride. They don't care anymore.
Oh wow, I like the way that's put. Stepped off the ride.
Yeah.
Nice.
They stepped off the ride, and Grandpa Joe has been left in the ride somewhere.
Oh.
There is a video of like, is it Horizon? It was in Epcot that they like got these two guys figured out a way that they could like jump off the cars and like go through the ride and stuff. And it's on YouTube. But there was a dude, one of the guys passed away, and they show one of the guys. He doesn't show it, but he's videotaping, and he stops what he's doing, and he goes and spreads the ashes somewhere, and then he comes back. And he's like, I did it.
Wow, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
And if Disney caught him, they would ban him for life.
Yes. But I would risk that ban for you, Jason, because I'd be old at that point and wouldn't give a shit.
As long as you survive tomorrow morning.
Too.
It's what, Jason?
I like the assumption that it is many years from now when we're both old.
Yes. I'm hoping, dude.
Indeed.
We have a meetup tomorrow. I'm going to be like, can we turn off the sun?
Oh, man.
It's too bright.
Just wake up, more Tylenol, more water. Just hammer the water.
Yeah. I got to wake up early, start drinking water. I forgot my Nike, so I have to go to the Nike outlet to get more shoes for myself.
Just wear your dress shoes with shorts, man. You'll be fashionable.
No, that's not my style.
I don't think that's anyone's style. It shouldn't be anyway.
Thank you. All right. Have I embarrassed myself enough?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, you just want this monkey to dance more.
Jason, do you have any feelings on news other than the fact of whatever Giancarlo Esposito saying that we're going to get Mandalorian season 3 sooner?
Are you recording right now? Are we definitely recording this?
We are definitely recording this one.
No, I don't have any opinions on that.
What about the white Darth Vader that's coming out?
That's horrible.
Yeah, that is horrible.
That's such a dumb Darth Vader.
That's like, do you guys like the Holiday Troopers?
An easy, sloppy repaint.
It feels like the Holiday Troopers to me. Like it's just cheap. That's no good.
Yes. All right, Jason.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to go sign off for the night because
all right.
I've embarrassed myself too much. No, seriously, like tonight, somebody ran to get more whiskey.
Uh-huh.
And my wife's like, we can't afford that right now. I'm like, no, I got money on PayPal. It's all Star Wars money. So I paid some of my celebration money to get this drunk tonight.
Oh, no, you will regret that for sure.
Well, it's only $30. I'll be fine.
All right, you can make that up.
Okay, that's fine.
That's a Black Series figure. I gave up a Black Series figure to make myself sound like an ass tonight. All right.
That's 2 tricks on the corner in shorts and dress shoes.
How are you going to pay for your Nikes? Is that going to come out of your celebration fund too?
I didn't think about that. It's going to have to now. I guess I need to break them in before Celebration.
What do you think about Bryce Dallas Howard saying that everybody's going to love the Ahsoka show?
I'm sure she's right. Everyone's going to love the Ahsoka show. Extremely talented director. Some of my favorite episodes are the episodes she directed of The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's on point.
Right.
Very much so.
Do you think she'll make an appearance in the Ahsoka show?
Who?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Is she going to make an appearance?
Yes.
As what?
I don't know.
I don't know. She's an
No.
actor. That could happen.
She could happen.
No. What? As her character from Jurassic Park? No.
Oh, that would be nice.
No, it wouldn't.
Crossover.
No. Nobody wants that.
Riding velociraptors like a banta.
Like a banta.
They're definitely faster.
Yeah.
No, she's a talented director and she's pretty capable. She's probably one of my favorite directors, just next to Deborah Chow, who's directing all of Obi Wan.
Yeah.
I think some of her episodes are my favorite episodes from everything that she's done so far.
Uh-huh.
Season 2 of Mandalorian, when they're on that, what was that planet with the calamari and the sweater that people can buy off of JCPenney's.
Yeah.
Right.
That was one of my favorite episodes from that season.
That's a great episode.
Well, Jason, go get sober, man.
I'm drinking water.
All
There
right.
you go.
Have a good night, gentlemen.
Be
All
safe,
right.
sir.
Bye,
Later.
Jason.
Later.
Later. All right. That was
So
fun.
worth it. So worth it.
I'm still here.
He's still here.
Yes. I just wanted to hear what you guys would say after me.
I said it was so
After I
worth it.
left.
So worth it.
All right, bye.
Bye, Jason.
He's still here.
He's still here. Oh, he muted himself. I think he's listening though. So what were we talking about before Jason came in?
We were talking about the streaming series, and you had a conversation with some guys at
The cigar shop.
the cigar shop. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Have you noticed that's happening to you?
I noticed that I am having more conversations about Star Wars, but I'm also really guarded about what I want to say, just because after the sequel trilogy, the fandom was so split. You know, you had to be careful. I don't want to get in a fight with anybody over Star Wars. I just, I want to like what I like.
Right.
So yeah, I was talking to someone from HR with my company not too long ago, and my office, I have like an Empire Strikes Back poster, because why wouldn't you? And they noticed it behind me on a Teams call, and she mentioned it, and I was like, oh, here we go. What's this going to be? But we had just a delightful conversation about The Mandalorian. Like, she's a huge fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that it's reaching so many people.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool indeed.
It's come a long way from being made fun of in high school that you like a series that no longer exists.
Yeah, it's cool to be a nerd now.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm 52 years old. I'm finally cool. Well, let's not go too crazy.
Right.
I'm finally acceptable.
Yes.
Hey, I still have shirts from my high school that I don't wear because of the way people treated me when I was in high school. Like, I still have the Star Wars shirts from when I was in high school, but I don't wear them because people just treated me like
a jerk.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally
feel
get it.
that.
Totally get it.
Like,
But-
go ahead.
But can you still fit in them?
I can still fit in them. Yes.
Yeah, he probably
awesome.
can. No way can I. I was a stick in school, and now I'm a log.
All right. I'm going back on mute.
Okay.
All right. Shannon's gonna have so much. Oh my God.
I'm having so much fun. But that's a great point. Yeah, you used to kind of hide your fandom.
Yeah.
I remember I was outside in my backyard. We had a sandbox in the backyard, and I was playing Return of the Jedi. I had my little skiff out there with my Jedi Luke and everybody, and I was playing. And some other kids my age were in another yard, and they looked over and saw me, and they were laughing like, "Oh, look at the nerd playing with toys and such." And I was like, you know what? I'm going inside to play.
Yeah.
That's
And how old?
Listen, kids listening at home, earmuffs because I'm about to curse.
Uh-oh.
About 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, Harrison was playing lightsabers with a kid that my wife was friends with. Now I'm hearing an echo of myself. They they were playing lightsabers. The lady went home. She was what, like 7 years old at the time. She went home to her mom and she's like, Harrison's so cute because he knows everything about lightsabers. I'm like, where the hell was that 20 years ago when I was in high school? I would have been so cool because I knew everything about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's frustrating.
All right.
It's really frustrating.
Look, there's a point here. I'm going to talk about it next week when I'm sobered up. You gentlemen have a good night. I'm
All right. But I mean, just because I remember, the dark times and everything, and it's just, where there's no internet. You had to look through magazines to find your stuff, and the only place you can find merch was at Disney World.
Yeah. Or the odd comic book shop. Like that's where I got most of my vintage collection. Was like there was a comic shop that I went to. I was so into Batman and X-Men and stuff, and the guy in like a windowsill, he had a few vintage figures, and I was like, oh, I used to have those. Those are cool. And he's like, I'm gonna start selling those soon. And I was like, I'll start picking those up, and I got them dirt cheap, like ridiculously cheap. But you couldn't find stuff anywhere.
Yeah. No, you're right. I still wish I would have pushed through when I was looking for figures, or when I was picking them up 5, 6 years or 8, 9 years ago now.
Yeah.
Right, probably closer to 10 when you're getting them for $1 a piece.
Right. I had a manager. I was an assistant manager at a shoe store. This is crazy. And the store manager found out that I liked Star Wars, and he goes, I've got a bunch of that crap up in my parents' attic. They're bugging me to get rid of it. Do you want it? And I was like, I guess. And inside I'm throwing a party. Like in my head, I'm like, hell yes. He's like, yeah, I've got this weird, it's like a round ship thing. I don't know what it is. And he's like, I got a ton of figures. I'll just bring them to you one day. And I never heard any more about it. And I was like, okay, he probably just gave up on it. And then one Christmas Eve, we're working, and he brings me this box, and there were I'd say 30 or 40 figures in it. That's part of my collection now, with some of the accessories, a lot of weapons, not all of them, but most, and the Millennium Falcon. I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
Like, I didn't have to pay a dime. I'm like, can I give you anything? He's like, no, I'm just glad that my parents aren't bitching about it anymore. Okay.
Right.
Find anything else, let me know.
Right. I love those stories.
Just
now
great.
Now that people find that, it's like I've got gold.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I could retire off of that now. After the last auction, I heard, oh my.
Oh, goodness. Dude, that Hanks auction was crazy.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I was going after something. There was an Ewok stuffed Ewok that I was kind of going after for my wife, and I don't know what it ended up at, but I was going to push it to about 15.
Yeah.
And I think it went for like 18 or 19. And it's like, it's a stuffed freaking Ewok.
Right. I love the Kenner figures, but I'm not going to pay that much money for them. Right. Honestly, I only need 2 more, and I'll find a way to get them, but I'm not going to pay ridiculous prices. I'll trade my car or something. But I traded all my old Joes for most of what I have now, other than the ones that guy gave me. Yeah. I had a bunch of Joes.
When you say you need 2 more, is it last 17 or just?
Of course. It's the A-Wing pilot and Han and Carbonite. So, I mean, they're not hard to find.
No.
You can throw a rock and hit them up here.
Right.
It's just I don't want to pay $400 or $500 a piece for these.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'll figure it out. I'm not in a hurry.
No. Yeah, I think A-Wing I might have paid 80 to 100 for, and my Han and Carbonite I bought in a lot for like $200 for with other figures. Yeah. Dude, I was so stupid when I started. Not stupid, but I was buying lots and flipping them. So you'd keep what you want, and you'd flip them and make your money back. And I was just giving stuff away. That's
a good way to do it, though.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it. I've only I wouldn't even call it a lot. I bought a tray from one of those carrying cases.
Mhm.
I had a tray with some figures in it. Most of them were, they were beaters, but there were 2 figures in it that I really needed. It was Bib Fortuna, and he was complete, and Emperor's Royal Guard, I believe. And what I paid for the tray, I was fine with, just keeping those 2 figures for that amount. And then I sold the rest, for not quite as much, but I got close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy with it.
Awesome. Now, my wife, well, you got talking about Cincinnati, so I got to bring this up.
Mhm.
We were talking, we got on rocket firing fets. My wife loves bringing up rocket firing fets or whatever. And, well, she was saying on how, crap, what was, but anyway, we got talking about it, and I told her, I said, yeah, some dude was giving that stuff away for Halloween. and I'm like, it's not an urban myth. It's not an urban legend, because the guy actually said, and I gave him away for Halloween, was giving him away rocket firing fets at Halloween.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But she was like, I wonder if anybody would have said, back in the day, oh, this is going to be something, and put it up. I said, you've talked to enough people in Cincinnati.
Right.
You know how they felt about Star Wars.
I made this correlation today, actually. I was thinking about Luke and how he said Tatooine was like the furthest from the bright center of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out Tatooine is like super important to the Star Wars story. That's how I feel about Cincinnati. Like, this doesn't feel important at all, but it's like the Kenner Mecca.
Right.
It's kind of crazy, I guess, because, we're too close to it, I suppose.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like everybody we talked to, it was like, since you're a little kid in high school, in middle school and stuff, it's just thrown at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if somebody was talking that they went, it might've been you that, or somebody went on a field trip to the Kenner headquarters, and at the end of the field, it's like, here you go, pick a figure. Oh yeah, you were talking. It was your Leia.
It was me. It was a Leia or somebody else. I can't remember who. Maybe a stormtrooper. And I picked Leia because I had 2 stormtroopers, but I never went to the store and bought Leia. I always wanted somebody else, and I was like, well, I'm gonna get a free Leia. There we go. And everybody thought I was weird because I was the guy that wanted the Leia figure. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Leia or R2, I believe. Not important. Whatever.
Right. Yeah. But it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah. And they were all in a baggie.
Yeah.
So crazy. So crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Star Wars conversations they're easier to have now. Definitely.
Yeah, they are. And yeah, you just, because I've had people come up to me and go, dude, are you feeling okay? And I'm like, why? They go, you don't have a Star Wars shirt on today. Oh yeah, I don't.
Yeah, got to do laundry. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't feel like wearing one today.
Right.
And then I've had people tell me, it's okay, you don't have to wear a Star Wars shirt every day. And I'm like, but I like wearing Star Wars shirts.
But I want to.
Yeah. So I mean, I use Star Wars, but or my nerddom, so it's easy to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's so much easier these days to be who you are, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's a nice way to be.
Although it is still weird at Target when you go and you're trying to look at toys and you got that one dude that you can both tell you're looking for toys.
Yeah. I was standing side by side in the wrestling figures because there are no Star Wars figures. You're like, yeah, okay, well, I'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah. Same time next week? Yeah.
Or I'll see you in 15 minutes at Walmart.
Right. Because it does get to the point, because Walmart and Target are so close, you do kind of run into the same people if you're doing a run.
Yeah, I will some days, on my way home from work. I'm like, well, I can hit 2 Walmarts and a Target and still be home for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And go home empty-handed.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife picked up some stuff. She's still looking. I'm still trying to get the droids Boba Fett that hasn't shown up here, because mine got canceled for some reason. Well, I know why it got canceled, because we upgraded our got a new red card, and they messaged us and said, hey, you need to update this. And we tried and couldn't. And then the next day they're like, oh, your pre-orders got canceled.
Oh my God, that sucks.
Yeah. So yeah, it is what it is. But she's been looking, and she got some of those, they're babies. They're like that tall. It was a Ewok and a Chewbacca, or a Wookiee. They call it Chewbacca, but I call it a Wookiee. was like, whatever. I don't say anything because then when I buy something,
Right. Yeah.
she doesn't say anything.
Exactly. Just let her have it. Let her have
Yep.
it. Glenn.
Well, dude, she came home the other day, like 2 months ago, with a full-size ET costume. I'm like, what the hell?
What? Why does that even exist?
It was a homemade pattern. I'm like, I probably would have bought that too.
Huh.
Like McCall's or whatever the patterns were
Oh, yeah,
back in the
yeah.
day. Yeah,
Back
they
in
had
the
one
day.
for an ET costume.
Oh, that's crazy.
She has it sitting up in her room, and it took her about 2 weeks to get used to it standing up because she'd like walk in her office and she's like, what the fuck? And it's ET.
This is a way off topic.
Yeah.
I worked at a hardware store as a teen, and they had this. Do you know who the actor Tom Poston is?
No.
I forget what show he was on, but he was like a handyman on a show.
Mhm.
And there was a cardboard cutout of him holding a paintbrush. And I took it home one day as a joke, like they gave it to me for whatever reason. And I put it in the back door window. And my mom came home and it scared the shit out of her. She was like, what? I thought somebody was in the house. I'm like, well, it is. It's Tom Poston.
Speaking of like weird things in windows, I went to stop by the liquor store because I needed to pick up some beer. And as I'm pulling out of the liquor store, there's a house that kind of overlooks the parking lot, and there's somebody standing in the window. And I'm like, they're not moving. And I'm like, it has to be a cutout or a mannequin that somebody did to F with all the people leaving the liquor store, because who would stand there?
That's weird.
So I'm gonna have to pay attention when I go back to that liquor store.
Yeah, see if you can figure out who it is.
Yeah. Now, speaking of just liquor in Cincinnati and Kentucky, you can't buy, do you live in Kentucky or Cincinnati? Or
I live
Ohio?
in Cincinnati, but I live close enough that I can be in Kentucky in about 5 minutes.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I'm right on the river.
But like, you can't buy like hard liquor or weird. You can't buy. It's hard to buy liquor in Ohio versus Kentucky, right?
It's much easier in Kentucky. Yeah.
Okay.
But the weird thing is Ohio regulates their pricing. It's state minimum pricing, and Kentucky will just gouge you like crazy. So if you can find it in Ohio, you're better off doing it. But yeah, Kentucky's where it's at.
Right. Yeah, because I remember
Party Source.
Yeah,
that's the name of that place, the Party Source.
Yeah, because I went there and you're paying like $12 for a 6-pack. And you're like, what the hell?
What, I can get this for $8.99 at Kroger.
Right, but I know I can't find this at Kroger because it was there's a brewery called Three Floyds. They're in Illinois, I think.
Yeah, good stuff.
And I wanted to buy some because we were in Chicago, and the guy was like, do you guys like beer? And we're like, yeah. He goes, do you mind driving like 45 minutes? It's like 3 states over. And we're like, it's only 45 minutes, right? I was like, yeah. So we drove over there and went to their brewery. And ever since then, I'm like, Three Floyds.
Yeah, they have great stuff.
Yeah. I don't remember much of it, but it was fun.
So you would be the equivalent of Jason at that point.
Yes, I was.
It's funny.
Is there anything else in the Star Wars universe you're looking forward to?
I mean, I can't wait for Andor. We've heard maybe the least about it.
Right.
Which, that then I maybe expect the least. And I think it's going to surprise everybody and be great.
Yeah, I think it'll be sort of like Rogue One and just take everybody by surprise, by storm. And
yeah, I hope.
Because like, you didn't know anybody. You just went in there with no expectations.
Right. You were just damn happy to be in that Star Wars galaxy again.
Yeah.
And I think I'm hoping there's an announcement, maybe at Celebration, about Lando. I really want to hear something. I know they wrapped with Donald Glover's show Atlanta. He's not doing that anymore, so he's maybe available.
Mm-hmm. He needs to be Lando.
Yeah, he did such a good job.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was the best. Yeah. Have you watched Atlanta? Have you watched any of that?
No, not at all. Not at all. And I watched Community, and I loved it up until the time that he left, and the show just wasn't anywhere near as good. So I really like everything I've seen him in. I haven't watched Atlanta. I'm not even sure what it's about.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain it right now because they like the storyline right now, because there was like a 2 or 3, or I think it was like a 4-year time gap between the last one and him doing the next, like the 2 and 3 seasons.
Oh wow. And
basically he's like a kind of producer but a manager of a rapper, and it's kind of follows that. And then the second season it got really weird, like just some all one-off episodes that were almost Twilight Zone-ish,
Okay.
but from the Black perspective, type thing.
Yeah.
And this season's been just like that. It's been like they'll do like one Twilight Zone episode, and then they'll do like they call the rapper Paperboy. Then they'll do like a Paperboy episode, and then it's another weird episode, and it's so weird. My wife's like, "What the hell's going on?" And I'm like, "Just shut up and watch it."
Yeah, just watch it.
Just why? Because yes, it's really messed up, but it's just pay attention. You'll be fine.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's on FX.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I think Lando. Donald Glover just nailed Lando, and
Yeah.
I've said it in one of the other podcasts. It's because he put the time in with Billy D.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he sure did. He sure did.
So
I think he did a fantastic job as Lando. I think Aaron Allenreich did fine
mhm.
as Solo. I can't imagine anyone that would have done a better job. Oh man, I can't remember his name. The guy that did Chewie.
Jonas.
Jonas,
something.
yeah. Sutomo, I don't know, whatever. He did a great job too. And
Right.
that sounds like, well, how hard is that? That's harder than you think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of expression going on in mostly the eyes, and I think he did a good job.
Well, look at Black K. How good that actor is.
Yeah. Corey Jones, I think his name is.
Yeah.
So good.
And he'll be at Celebration.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with the guest list at Celebration right now. I'm still waiting for like Mark Hamill to make an announcement, but I don't
Think there'll be a big name like that? Somebody huge?
There needs to be.
Who's the biggest name right now?
John Carlos.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, but he's only going to be there for like Thursday, Friday. I mean, it'd be cool to get his autograph, but and then they got Ashley Eckstein, but she's
That's cool. It's cool.
Right now, I think she's done so much for free. She's trying to make up for doing all the free autographs.
Yeah, probably.
Because now she's like, I can make money on this.
Oh man, I need to pay rent.
Yeah.
Are you an autograph seeker? You have
I have a few, but it's not, oh my God, it's more, I want to meet the person more than get the autograph. I have I've got a Gillian Anderson.
Right there.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
That was, I'll tell you the story about that in a second. And then I've got both of these, and then I got a Carrie Fisher but the Gillian Anderson, we were at Dragon Con in Atlanta with a couple of buddies, and I had bought an X-Files poster, and the guy looked at me and was like, you can get her to sign it. And I was like, who? It was like Scooby-Doo. And they were like, Gillian Anderson's here. And I was like, oh shit. And I couldn't concentrate for like the next hour because I'm like, Gillian Anderson's a Dragon Con. So yeah, we found where she was, and I got, signed up, and I was going to get the I Want to Believe poster signed by her. And it was my first autograph I ever paid for was hers. And I didn't realize that they give you headshots. They'll give you a headshot or a picture for you to sign, for them to sign.
Right.
So I picked one, and then I walked up to her, and I'm like, I don't know which one I want you to sign. And I'm just being like, trying to hold it in, but I'm fanboying out because she's been my number one for like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I think she's the reason why I have an unhealthy obsession with redheads. But
okay, fair enough. Yeah,
fair enough.
The truth is out there, Glenn.
Yes, it is. So she's like, looks at me and she goes, where are you going to put it? And to make this even better is I'm with my best friend who's a troll, who's just sitting there watching me, he's met so many people that he can keep this cool. He really doesn't care, and he's just making fun of me. And I'm showing her both pictures, and I'm like, I don't know which one I want you to sign. And she's like, well, where would you put them? And I go, on my wall. And he just loses his shit. And cause she's kind of giggling, but I guess she's appreciating it. And she goes, well, how about I sign them both for you? And I'm like, oh my God, awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. And she goes, what's your name? And I said, Glenn. And she goes, Glenn, nice to meet you. So she signs my name on one of them, and it just signs her name on the other one. And I see she writes something, but at that moment, I'm just freaking out. I'm just like, oh my God. So you're riding that high for like 2 hours afterwards. I actually had to go sit down because I was just like, I just met my number one.
Yeah.
And my wife even knows she's my number one. So that's kind of weird. She's like, your girlfriend's on TV. I will watch like shitty shows just because she's in it. But
Heck yeah.
So anyway, we get home, we get back to his house after the con, and I'm taking everything out and I'm looking at it. And she writes on that picture, Glenn, nice to meet you and your wall, Gillian Anderson. And I'm just like, I have
That's
a Gillian
awesome.
Anderson story.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But the Carrie Fisher one,
Uh-huh.
somebody had posted it on Facebook for like $60. And I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
oh my God. So I'm messaging all the guys that I know. And I'm like, is this legitimate?
Yeah.
And they were like, it looks legitimate. You know, and I'm like, for $60, I gotta take a chance. So I buy it from the guy, and it's showing it nice and framed.
Mhm.
And when I get it, I'm thinking it's going to be in a box. It's matted, it's not framed. But
Yeah.
so when it gets here, I'm thinking it'll be in a box. So I pull up to my house and I'm looking all over my porch, and I'm like, I don't see it. So then I reach in the mailbox, and there's a padded envelope.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I was pissed.
I bet.
He unmatted it, took it out of the mat, and it was just a generic mat because he ended up getting it from Disney. But it was just a white generic mat, and they put it between two pieces of cardboard that didn't even cover the picture. They didn't even protect the picture in the cardboard.
Oh my God.
And I was like, dude, you were lucky I only paid $60 for this, because I'm losing my shit. But if I paid what this thing was worth,
Yeah.
I really would be losing my shit.
Yeah, I'd be coming after you.
Yeah.
Was it okay?
Yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
And I had a friend frame it, and it looks great, but
That's awesome.
it's just like, it's an irreplaceable autograph, dude, because I bought it after she passed. And
Okay.
yeah, it's an irreplaceable autograph.
I
And
have one of hers that I bought. I didn't meet her or anything like that, but I bought it at a comic shop. The guy had tons of any comic book artists
Mhm.
out there. He had their autographs and stuff, and every once in a while a piece would show up from a movie or whatever, and hers showed up, and I was like, I have to have this. He didn't even have it up yet. He was just showing me what I had, because I would go there and buy figures and stuff. He's like, I've got a Carrie Fisher. I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, how much? And I think it was probably about the same price, like $60. And I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I hadn't even seen it yet, but it was in a cheap, shitty frame,
Mhm.
but the actual picture was in great shape. I was like, yeah, I have to have it. I have to
Right.
and then I met Billy D at a Comic-Con. That went really well. I totally
I
embarrassed
remember
myself. Oh my God. That was so embarrassing. My son probably still cringes when he thinks about that. But I have that. That's like one of my favorite pieces. And years and years ago, I went to a comic show with my friend Pete. And Pete was his father owned a chili company. We called him Pete the Greek. He was Greek. And we went, and Marina Sirtis was there. Deanna Troi from Star Trek. Are you a Trekkie at all?
No.
Okay, so I wasn't either, but he was excited because she played Deanna Troi, and she was a good-looking woman.
Was she the brunette?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yep.
And I'm in line in front of him, and I meet her, and she's super chill. She was like so easy to talk to, and I had her figure. I bought her figure like 2 minutes before we got in line, and she's signing the figure, and we're talking, and Pete says something, and I just assumed he was trying to speak Klingon to her, and I'm like so embarrassed. I'm like, Pete, please, what are you doing? But he was speaking Greek, I guess, and she just fired right back, and they had the longest conversation that I couldn't understand, but.
Mhm.
I was like, well, that's a story right there. Not my story, his story, but that's a really cool story. Like they had a great conversation. Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. And I forgot I have a Peter Mayhew, which was at
struggle
Dragon
to pay
Con.
as much as they're asking for things.
Huh?
You got to meet him?
Yeah, I got to meet him at
That's cool.
Dragon Con.
That's cool.
But that was a cool conversation because we spent like 5 or 10 minutes talking. It felt like 10 or 15.
Yeah.
But just sitting there talking to him, and it was right before Force Awakens came out. And we were like, can you tell us anything? He goes, yeah, but I have to kill you.
Fair enough. Go ahead and tell me.
Yeah. And it was a cool 10, 15 minutes with it. The line was only like 20 deep, maybe, to get Peter Mayhew's autograph before Force Awakens came out. Yeah.
He came to Cincinnati, well, more than once, but the last time he was there, the line was so long, I was like, I can't.
Right.
I'll be in line all day. I'll miss everything else. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's another thing why I don't collect autographs, because it's like you pay all this money to go to a con and then you're going to sit in line for 2 hours, 3 hours for something.
Yeah, and then pay probably 3 times what you paid to get there for the autograph.
I'm kind of hoping that they'll do the Rebels crew at this one, because I wanted to do it at Celebration 17, but I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't prepared for the craziness that it was.
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool to have an autograph, a picture with all of them on it, autograph.
That would
but
be neat.
we'll see. I don't know what they're charging. If Ashley's charging 100, I hate to see. I think Freddie Prinze was only charging like 50, 60 for at one point, but
I'm sure that's
don't know.
changed.
Yeah, I'm sure it's changed. So maybe I'll do everybody but him, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
You can get those online.
It's not the same.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. Not about that one, but I mean, if that's a piece you're really going for, and especially with like the original trilogy, you're never going to meet. Obviously, you're never going to meet some of those people that are gone.
Yeah.
But you can. I found a poster. It was like one of the original A posters, and it had the main cast signatures on it. It was like $800, and I thought that's ridiculous. And now I'm like, well, it's not so bad.
Yeah, that's cheap, because you pay that for Harrison Ford.
Right. I'm like, that's not terrible.
No. Wow.
As long as it comes with a COA, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, even those, you got to be careful, man, because the COAs can be fake.
That's true too.
But I will, the one person that, and I've already told my wife, if he's anywhere near, we're going, is Michael J. Fox. That's my number one right now.
I can see that.
Just because my granny passed from Parkinson's and everything he's done with, and he's got it, and he's doing a bunch of research for it.
Right.
And it's just something that hits close to home.
Sure.
And sure. That's my number one person I got to meet.
Now that's not why you're a huge Back to the Future fan, right? Like,
no,
I assume you were a fan from the Giddy Up.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when it, watching it on VHS at my neighbor's house. So
Nice.
That was Star Wars was there, but Back to the Future was like my Star Wars, like you were there when Star Wars, because you remember when Star Wars came out. I remember when Back to the Future came out and going, because what was 85? I'd have been 10.
Yeah. That's interesting that we're all affected kind of differently that way.
Yeah.
My kids, their Star Wars is the prequel trilogy, and it just blows my mind. Like, really? That's your Star Wars, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My son's the same way. He's a huge Darth Maul fan.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
just.
love it.
But it was cool as shit, because he lives down in Florida, and we were able, he came spend a day with me in Galaxy's Edge, and we were able to do everything. I was able to fly the Falcon with him, so it was cool having that memory.
Nice.
So.
That's
And
what
you've
it's
never,
about.
you've never been, have you?
No. The last time I was in Disney was 2009, way before all that.
Wow.
We still had the Indiana Jones Adventure Show, or whatever they were calling it, the stunt show, or whatever.
Yeah, they still have that. They still have the stuff.
Do they? I thought they shut that down. Okay. Good.
Are you gonna sneak down when you're down there?
I don't know. We go down every year.
Okay.
But we go to the Gulf. Maybe. I don't know about this year, but maybe next year. That's a thought. Huh. I'm just hoping they drop the mask mandate.
Well, they have.
I hate being on a plane with a mask.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
why. I don't know why, but
yeah, I'm hoping they do it before we go to Celebration, because I know they're talking May 1.
Right.
So knock on wood.
It was April 18th, then it got pushed to the first week of May. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, that's at this point. I say it too many times, but you do what you want to do, and I'm going to do what I want to do, and as long as we're safe,
right?
Now,
is there a mask mandate for Celebration?
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, that sucks. They did just change. That's one thing we didn't talk about. They did just change, because you had to have a vaccine card to get in, but now they've changed it to where you can have a negative test.
All right.
But they're still mandating the mask. So we'll see. What I think is going to happen is they're going to mandate the mask, but maybe not enforce it.
Yeah.
Because a lot down here, huh?
That's hard to enforce with that many people.
Yeah. we were at a show a couple of months ago and they were like, you got to have a mask, and you get in there and half the people aren't wearing masks and they're not enforcing it. So I put mine in my back pocket and nobody told me anything.
Yeah. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people that aren't, and that's fine.
Yeah. But like, my, it should be, if it's a free, I don't want to get political, but it's both, it goes both ways,
Yeah. Yep.
But it's my right to say I don't want to wear it, but then it's also your right to say, if you want to come through this door, you need to wear it. And then I got a choice to make. Do I want to go through that door or do I want to go home?
Exactly. Celebration, you're going to want to go through that door.
Exactly. It will suck wearing a mask, but I will freaking do it. I have a feeling they'll have like cool off zones, or if you're not around people that, they won't care.
Or when you're eating, just always be eating.
There you go. I've done that at a movie theater before. When Bill and Ted 3 came out, I made sure I had a Coke in my hand the whole time.
Yep. Yeah. Big box of popcorn. Yep. I'm always eating.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
Well, awesome. I don't have Jason's. Is there anything else? You got?
That's enough out of me, brother.
All right, man.
I'm just damn glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. It was fun. Jason made the night, though. He's gonna fear that.
He definitely did. I can't wait to hear that back.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm kind of glad that you forgot to record, because I think it was better the second time.
It was.
He may not agree.
But I don't have Jason's speech written out. But y'all, Ted, thanks for joining me, man. It was fun. You are welcome anytime. If there's anything you need to flush out, or you need to talk, or
yeah,
message
I definitely will, because I'm still working on that theory we talked about the other day. I'm still working on that. So when I'm ready, I'll let you all know.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Well, thanks for listening. You can find us on Smugglers Galaxy. Find us on Facebook at Smugglers Galaxy. You can email us at smugglersgalaxy.com. Thanks, Levi Waterhouse, for the music, and Alfonso Riviera for our logo. Please leave a 5-star review where you listen to the podcast, and we'll see you next time. This is the way.
This is the way.
You got to play with your toys.
Play with your toys.